Welcome back to the 420 Lounge. My name's Friday. I'm hoping everybody is having an awesome day. And I do appreciate each and every viewer. If you're enjoying my interpretation of the cards, find me funny, or find that my voice is one of those ASMR things, go ahead and give a like and subscribe. I'm trying to put out at least one video a day, possibly two, if there's a couple of quickies there. And I'm just going to be naming them Just a Quickie, because I'm going to try and keep them under 15 minutes. But anyways, this is a timeless reading. My readings are just general readings. If the message resonates with you, please go ahead and leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching from and what about the message resonated. That would be helpful for me. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start asking Spirit, Source, God, please provide advice or a message for, that's not good. Something is a little bit hairy. Okay, let's try that again. Spirit, Source, God. Our Vibe Tribe here at the 420 Tarot Lounge are asking for a message that would potentially pertain to them or a loved one. We have two cards here. We have the Six of Swords and we have the Page of Cups. My readings are timeless and for entertainment purposes only. Please use your own discernment when making life choices. The Empress. And again, this is, I try and be as to the point, but maybe not as harsh as some other readers. Okay, so we have two here. So this one wanted to come out first as the Moon. And then we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. I feel like there's maybe an opportunity. King of Wands. And then the Fool. He's come out quite a few times, not just in this deck, but in a couple of my other decks as well lately. And then we have the Queen of Swords as the energy on this. Now, there's been some, I feel like you want to be embarking on your own endeavor. I feel like there's been a lot of noise, a lot, not necessarily sound noise, but like drama. Like there's drama. You're surrounded by drama queens. You're surrounded by people that express victimhood. There's all kinds of junk. You're just like, you know what, I'm done with that. I get the feeling that you're looking for something a little bit more serene. We're gonna get so I haven't used this deck. Wow. Okay, I haven't used this deck in a while. Let me just pick that up so nobody steps on it and breaks their ankle. Okay, so well, I have cleansed the cards and did a pre-cut, pre-shuffle on these decks that I'll be using. So Spirit Source God, we are requesting 7 more additional cards to provide more clarity on the 7 already provided. So now we have the 9 of Pentacles. So that's independence. That is Temperance under the Page of Cups. I feel like there's maybe even a little bit of the Devil under the Empress. 10 of Pentacles under the Moon. Okay. So what I'm doing here is, as I'm shuffling the cards, there's sometimes a card doesn't want to go in the deck, and that's the card that I flip. So then we have the Chariot under the Ace of Cups. So this 10 of Pentacles is this is your energy. This will be the center of the reading. I feel like there's been a lot of noise, a lot of like maybe you grew up beside a highway, the High Priestess under the King of Wands, or a railway crossing where they're always blasting the horns or like that. And then I'm also getting, like I said, people that are they're not interested in real subjects. They're more in. Okay, so we've got 2 here. So we have the 8 of Pentacles and the 2 of Pentacles. And that's under the Fool. So there's definitely a type, not a type, but and then we have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom. So now we've got 2 queens. We've got the Queen of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting. So like I said, it feels like you want to move from a like maybe a busy city, maybe lots of people. It could even be within a household. That maybe that maybe you're from a large family and you're looking to break. Maybe you're looking to break free finally. But I also feel that there's a lot of I want to say gossip, and you're not. I get the feeling that you yourself are not a gossiper, and you're finding it harder and harder to tolerate that type of behavior. You're also finding it harder to tolerate when in a conversation, as someone is speaking and relaying their story. You're finding it harder and harder to tolerate others that interject and like, oh yeah, that happened to me too. And there's always, that's like the victimhood. That's what I'm talking about. Like um, somebody genuinely is a victim, and then someone else comes in and, oh yeah, that happened to me. That happened to me. Oh, that happened to me. Um, so they're looking for the center of attention, and you're finding it harder and harder to tolerate that. That's what I'm getting here. You're finding it harder and harder to tolerate anything that doesn't propel you or what you're working on forward. I feel like there is pushback for you to go out on your own. There is a almost you're going to be missed, but I think you're going to be missed because you're one of the few in the group that tends to just listen. You don't play into I don't even think you're really listening, or I think you're more observing, watching the behaviors. Like, so you hear the words and you respond to the words, but you're more looking at the behavior. That's kind of what I'm getting here. And it's that vibration that you're not in tune with. So this has happened to me before where I've come out with a 10 or maybe an 8, and then a few cards later, 2 cards pop out that add up to the same amount. So this could also be a 10 of Pentacles. So this is like balancing and working to perfection. But we're going to get some more cards out here. I'm almost getting this as a you have abundance, you have a legacy, you have resources. And if you don't take the lead in your own destiny, if you don't put forward goals, you could fracture this 10 of Pentacles. Okay. So we're going to use, I'm going to kind of call a little bit to this one for this part. So if you notice, I use the same 4 decks, and sometimes, oh, look at that. There is a card in here. I wonder what this is all about. King of Cups. Okay, I'm going to stand him up over here. I'm not sure how he ended up in there. And then there's another one. The Chariot. And that's from the Rider Smith. So they're both in there. And I haven't even Rider Smith one. I don't think. Let's hope there's nothing else in there. I'm pretty careful about, and I cut them and everything, so I'm not sure what happened. Anyway, there's a blooper for you. Have a laugh. Yes, so I'm seeing that if you don't make a move, or you don't take a chance, or you don't, this could fracture. Now, again, my readings are timeless and for entertainment purposes only, and you have to use your own discernment when making decisions and life choices and whatnot. But if you're up here seeking to leave something, to venture out on your own, because the situation you're currently in, you're not in tune with, then this will get fractured because you won't be happy. You won't be pulling in the same frequency. You won't be, okay. Okay, we would like 7 cards, Spirit, Source, God, for this portion of the reading. We have the Fool again, okay? Under the 6 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles. Or sorry, the 9 of Pentacles. So under the Page of Cups and the Temperance, okay, so there's 2 cards here. We have the 9 of Cups, which is basically getting what you want. And then the 2 of Swords under the Empress and the Devil. Okay. So under the moon and the 10 of Pentacles, we have the 4 of discs. So that's like a fear of letting go. That's uncertainty about the next steps. 6 of Cups under the Ace of Cups and the Chariot. There's a lot of opportunity here, I think, for branching out and growing, and maybe even a little bit even learning. There's like the only page is the Page of Cups, and it's like they are embarking on a duality. So this is a exclusive card to this deck. There's a second one called, I think it's pronounced Huawei or Weewa or something like that. This is conquer your fears. Do your shadow work as much as it hurts. Okay, and then we have the 7 of Wands. So I feel like you have support. I mean, you may not see who is supporting you, but you do have support. And then we have the King of Swords at the bottom of this deck. So we have the Queen of Swords, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So I feel like you're being watched over. There's this devil energy here, I think, is it's like a guilt trip. I feel like there is the pushback that I had alluded to earlier. I think that pushback is it's him or me, like it's us or them, him or me, her or me. There's a ultimatum I'm feeling from here, and it's a guilt trip type feeling. This is where you get I have an overwhelming feeling that you are, because you're an observer and you're not in tune with the lower frequency. You're an empath. So to put you into the feeling of worry or guilt or greed, maybe not greed, but worry or guilt. I feel like you are easily lulled into those frequencies. So we're gonna get into those. I don't even know what happened there. Okay, now we have the Rider-Waite-Smith. So this is like a kind of like a tic-tac-toe type thing I do here, I guess you could call it. So Spirit, Source, God, we're looking for 7 cards. The first card, we'd like it to cover the 6 of Cups, duality, and the 7 of Wands. So that's the King of Swords. So we have the King of Swords there. So there is a, I feel like there's maybe the clarity is exposes itself. The clarity exposes itself. Oh, then we have the King of Wands. We have the King of Wands over here as well. You you have the willpower. You have the I feel like you are now just starting to master, I guess. I want to say your craft, but that could be your emotions, even your passions. You've been able to. So I've got 2 cards here. So we have the Star, and then we have the Wheel of Fortune. So there's you're allowing, or you're, I shouldn't say you're allowing, you are realizing that there is a future for you outside of this. This has all been a distraction. But you're going to have to make a move and use your intuition. Otherwise, you're going to fracture. That will, the movement will move your wheel, push you forward. But you still have that fear of letting go. I think it's a duty. You feel duty to family, duty to friends, duty even to coworkers. I'm not sure about that. I used to do that. I used to feel that way when I worked at a place. But okay, there's 2 cards here. So we have the 8 of Wands and the 2 of Pentacles. So we have the 2 of Pentacles over here too. But this, I think, represents a fracture. There, the this is I feel like it's going to be testing. You're going to be tested in your, you're going to be tested in your abilities, but I feel like it's going to be more of a practice. It's not, it's going to feel like it's for real, but it's kind of like a prank maybe. And it's this test, you overcoming this test or passing this test, Six of Wands, is going to prove, you're going to be able to prove to yourself that you are capable. This is almost like an internal acknowledgement of this accomplishment. I don't feel like this is a, I don't think you're going to brag about this. I don't think you're going to, you're going to live it. You're going to live the accomplishment. I've said that before, and I'm not, like, so if you graduated paramedic school, instead of running around and telling everybody that you graduated paramedic school, you're just going to go and get a job as an ambulance driver. Six of Swords. So there is definitely, and then like the Chariot is here, so there's definitely a needing. Now you're leaving alone here, but here you've got company. And it's almost like you're saving them. And then Strength. The energy here is Judgment. Oh, I'll just do this here. The energy here is Judgment. Now, we did have these two cards for some strange reason were mixed up in these, which is the King of Cups and the Chariot. So I think this Chariot card is confirmation that you have to keep moving forward. This Chariot's pointing forward, and the driver is facing forward. And this one, the driver, is also facing forward. So I'm seeing that you cannot allow yourself to become stagnant. You're also going to come to when you come into the clarity, when you do your healing, find out what your motivations are for doing things. If there's things that you've done or things that you're doing that you are not proud of or you are not comfortable with anymore, don't be hard on yourself. I've said this before. I think I said it yesterday. That this duality card is accept what you've done, take responsibility for what you've done. So even if that was like you smoke cigarettes, say, quit smoking, take responsibility for what you've done by looking for ways to improve your health. I don't know if that made sense or not, but anyways, yeah, don't be hard on yourself, because that is what pulls your frequency back down, or you'll get stuck again. You're not an NPC. This King of Cups is I feel like this is more of a, so you've got, I'm looking at this as two grandmothers and two grandfathers. So I feel like you had maybe a grandmother and a grandfather that were very spiritual, religious. I feel like they maybe went to church all the time. And I think that you had a grandmother and a grandfather that maybe, I don't think maybe they were as spiritual or religious, but they were still very knowledgeable and loving and caring. Now, this could go like this. Doesn't have to be, these two don't have to be together. Look at strength card is under there. Um, it feels like there is definitely some type of, somebody's like, you have a spirit, or you have your spirit guides are watching over you. And I feel as though that's the grandfather, there's a grandfather or maybe an uncle that was very, could have been very involved in your life at one time. And maybe they could have been your favorite uncle. And they've passed on. And I am also getting the feeling that this particular uncle or masculine energy, what you had, it was almost, there was a click there. There was, he didn't have, he was not tolerant of the drama and the victimhood and the, so you got each other, and it's almost like nobody else got him either, or like he wasn't interested in all the same things as everybody else. Okay, so we're going to get some advice here. So your advice, part of your advice is, obviously if you want to progress, you got to keep moving. And if you don't keep moving, what you have now could become fractured. So you could suffer a loss maybe. This Fool here represents you going through this and getting to your new beginning. Okay, Spirit Source God, which oracle card would you like to provide for advice? The Sword and Rose. Clarity, truth, revelation, solidarity, force, honor, protection, power. So like I said, there's going to be a clarity. There's going to be a, your things are going to become clear. There's things that you thought true are going to come out as false. Photograph. Looking at your photos, missing you, nostalgia, make new memories. So your advice is move forward, make new memories. Sure, you're going to always have your family. You care for them, you love them, all that kind of good stuff. But if they're not resonating with you, you're not going to be able to reach your full potential, whether that is in a career, or if you're an athlete, or if you have a goal set to do something. If you stay in the lower vibration, you're not going to accomplish your goal, or you may accomplish it, but not to the best of your abilities. So keep your search going for the truth, clarity, and make new memories. That's your reading for today. I want to thank each and every one of you for staying to the end. Go ahead and give a like and subscribe. Pass that puff. And we'll see you in the next one. Namaste.